I stood in the shoe from 1988 to 2015.
So you were in solitary confinement for most of your time.
Yes, approximately 32 years.
32 years by yourself in a room. Tell me about what that was like. What does the room look like? What do you have in there?
The shoe was actually driving men crazy.
Thank you so much, Marcos, for being here with us in Between the Lines. I'm really excited to speak with you today and get to know your story. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling all right. Little nervous about the interview, but I'm good.
That's okay, I am too. It's a beautiful day, especially that we're going to be playing basketball with your team and your people. I just want to get to know a little bit about you and where everything started.
Okay, I was born in Loma Linda, California. I was raised in Colton, California, which is in San Bernardino County. When I was young, I used to like going fishing. I was in the Cub Scouts, play Little League Baseball. I have a picture of myself as a pitcher for a Little League Baseball team called the Angels. I used to love camping, going to Yosemite and skateboarding, roller skating, everything. I like playing sports. Unfortunately, I started hanging around the wrong crowd. I started following my brother's footsteps, hanging around the homeboys, and little by little stopped playing baseball, started partying, drinking, partying, and ended up getting caught up into the gang lifestyle, which led me coming in and out of juvenile hall. At the age of 15, I went to California Youth Authority for attempted murder. I got 3 years. I was 15 years old. Went to California Youth Authority. California Youth Authority is for juveniles that are messing up in juvenile hall or have violent cases. So since my case was violent, I went to Fred C. Nallis. I was there 79, 80, 81.
So from 15, 16, 17, you were in the juvenile.
Yes, going in and out in juvenile hall.
Going in and out for attempted murder.
No, excuse me. From 13, I started going to juvenile hall.
13 years old?
Yes. 12,
and were your
13.
parents around? Did they?
Yes, but my parents were, my dad was from Mexico, old school, worked for railroad, Southern Pacific, hard worker. My mother was very honest. My dad was very honest. They tried to raise us, but my parents were older, and me and my brother, we got caught up in the neighborhood.
They couldn't control you.
They couldn't control us.
That world is foreign to them.
Yes. They actually would say, hey, why don't you just stay home and drink instead of going out? Because we don't want to see you get in trouble. But we would get drunk and sneak out the window and take off.
In a really early age.
Yeah, and they meant well, but it didn't work.
Yeah. So 13, you're in and out. You're already living a lifestyle that to you is,
Yes.
kind of the norm.
Yes, kind of the norm.
To be getting in trouble.
Yes.
And then when you said you went into juvenile
hall,
and you stayed for attempted murder.
No, excuse me. I went to juvenile hall for different things. One was for, we used to sniff paint when we were young. One was for burglary. I got out. Then when I turned 15 is when I picked up attempted murder. I went to Fred C. Nallis. I stood in Fred C. Nallis 1979, 1980, 1981. Fortunately, Fred C. Nallis was full of what you would call the worst of the worst. So as far as juveniles, it was kids that the juvenile system couldn't handle. So it was wild there.
Yeah, why was it so wild?
A lot of fist fights. A lot of kids growing up and with no structure, no discipline. Uh, I can honestly say the YA, it made me worse.
Really?
Yes, it made me worse than when I was on the streets. It made me more, I guess, through the fights and the the violence in YA, it like hardened me.
Yeah, more aggressive,
It made me more aggressive.
with no remorse kind of thing.
Yeah, because when I got out, I only stood out a few months. I picked up a murder robbery. You know, in 1981, I picked up a murder robbery.
Did you do that because you needed money? And you needed to, or was it more of like a gang affiliation validation kind of thing?
No, at that age of eight, when I was 18, uh, my problem was alcohol. I was alcoholic.
You were an alcoholic.
Yes.
So you
and-
weren't in the right mindset.
No, I was actually drunk when I committed the offense. Yes. In my case, I was originally sentenced to life without possibility of parole. They were trying to give me the death sentence behind my juvenile conviction. They said, you got violence. And then I had another assault with a deadly weapon that there was not enough evidence to take me to court. But when I was convicted of my murder robbery, they have something called a penalty phase. They brought all that up to try to give me the death penalty. Because I had my murder robbery, I had the case that I went to YA for. And then I had the other case that they never tried before, but they says, oh, there's a police report on it. So they were trying to say that I was a violent defendant. So I ended up getting life without possibility of parole. But as I said, when I committed the offense, I was drunk. We filed an appeal. The court ruled that in order to give a person life without possibility of parole or a death sentence, you need to prove intent, that the person intended to kill the person. In my case, I had been drinking 2 days. Over the weekend, I had been drinking. My sister got married. I went back to Colton. I was living in LA. I went back to Colton, sister's wedding on Saturday. Sunday, I drank, came back. Monday, had been drinking and picked up my murder robbery. So the judge had a hearing on that, and he determined there was no intent in my case. So they changed my sentence to 25 to life. So that's...
So when you woke up from this drunkenness, and you're alone, right? You don't have your parents with you. Like, you're kind of doing this all on your own. What's going through your head, being like, okay, I'm going there for life? Is something that you were like, okay, this is how my life is supposed to be? Or were you like, fuck? Or, you know, like, what are you thinking at that time?
Good question. So when I woke up in the county jail, November 1981, I have a murder robbery. My co-defendants with me there. The case was strong, so I was more or less thinking, well, I'm going to go to prison. I have nothing to lose. So when you're like that, you start losing hope. You start losing hope, especially after I went to trial. I got the life without. I started losing hope. And I continued to spiral downward. Once a person loses hope, you have nothing to lose. So you make the best of the situation. So that's what I did. I came to prison. I was in San Quentin, 82, 83, then Old Folsom, 84, 85, 86. Most of them years were in the SHU, the solitary confinement, the hole. I only spent a few months on the mainline. Then in 86, I was in the SHU in Old Folsom. They released everyone from the SHU in Old Folsom to the mainline in 86. I stood on the main line from 86 to 88. And in 1988, I picked up an assault with a deadly weapon. I came to the SHU in 88.
So you were in and out of the SHU.
Yes, yes. All the way to 88. And then 88, I stood in the SHU from 1988 to 2015.
Oh my goodness. So you were in solitary confinement for most of your time.
Yes, yes. Approximately 32 years.
32 years by yourself in a room. What can you speak to me? Tell me about what that was like. What does the room look like? What do you have in there? What's it like at the beginning when you went, and how'd you stay sane throughout those times?
Solitary. Well, I'll explain Pelican Bay. Pelican Bay Prison, it's in Crescent City. It was designed to break inmates, to keep them segregated from other inmates. You would be in a cell by yourself. You have no contact with no one. You go to the yard by yourself. You go to the shower by yourself. It was ran electronically. What I mean by that is the cell door would open and close by a guard being in a control booth. So if it's time for me to go to yard, he would open my cell. I would step out. He would open the yard door. I would step in it. He would close it. But the yard was like a dog walk. It was tiny. I could stretch my arms out, and this little area was bigger than the yard. There was nothing out there. There was nothing. We couldn't even have a handball. It was designed to break us. Yeah.
So you were literally just alone. You couldn't, no human contact, no nothing, no ball, no, literally nothing.
No, nothing.
So what would you do every day? 30 something years.
That's one of the things that has kept me healthy. Was in the SHU, I would exercise a lot. I used to make pull-up bars with rolled up magazines, and I would get sheets and braid them and hooks and do pull-ups, handstand push-ups, burpees, plyometric push-ups, where I call them jackknives, where
No.
I jackknife when I touch my toes in the air. I go down and I throw my body in the air and I touch my toes, and they're jackknives.
So you were like a gymnast.
Yeah, I used to like doing like push-ups on the handstand and throwing myself in the air.
So you must have been like in tip-top, I mean, you still
Yeah.
are, but like tip-top perfect shape
That was to get my body
in your mind.
moving. As far as my mind, let me see. I would read a lot. I started first with history. I learned how to draw. Pretty good drawing. I learned how to play chess. I started learning about personal finance. I learned about the stock market. I started trading stocks. I learned about real estate, small business, stocks, options, commodities, currencies.
So you were just like a self-taught genius then.
Well, I lost my mother, and I knew I was gonna have no one. So I started saying, well, I gotta take care of myself. So I started learning ways of making money, and
Making money in the SHU.
in the SHU, yes. Well, I have a house. I have I got a house for my parents passed away. They left me the house.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so I invest in stocks, bonds.
How do you invest in stocks in prison?
I'll have, let's say that you're my sister or my girlfriend or
Okay.
whatever, you go visit me. I'll say, hey, contact E-Trade.
Yeah.
And get an application, fill the application, open up the account. You could either open it for yourself or make it for 2 people. And then I'm gonna tell you what stocks. I'll write to you.
And how are you making money?
By telling my friends to buy the stocks and sell them I bought Cisco. I don't know if you know what Cisco is. It does routers and stuff for the internet. in 99, before the internet boom, well, before these computers and these tablets came out, I was reading about all that. So I started first investing in the internet. Knew it was going to grow, so I invested in Cisco, routers, switches. I invested in Intel. I invested in anything that I thought that had to do with computers and what was happening. And I make money on stocks.
So you did well.
I did all right on stocks, yeah. Lost some, but some came up, yeah.
So then you spent your time working out physically to stay in shape, reading a lot and learning a lot to keep your mind sharp,
Yeah.
making money and keeping yourself busy.
Yes.
But you said that this was meant to break people and to help them denounce from what they were part of before.
Yes.
Was there ever a moment in those 32 years in the shoe that you broke?
No, not. As I said, the shoe, to be put in a cell by yourself, imagine a dog putting a dog in a cell, in a cage, and rattling the cage. That dog is going to get mad. So by being put in that, it made me say, nah, I'm not breaking. It made me mad. In the shoe, it gives you a lot of time to think. You're in your cell all day long, all night. So you sit and you think. And I was also mad because I felt like the guards were messing with us. They were I didn't feel they were trying to break us. That Pelican Bay was designed to break inmates. It was designed on the way military make their places of detention, to segregate, to isolate and segregate where there's no contact, where there's no communication. So that it frustrated me, it made me angry, but it also made me want to fight to get out. Because some of the guys were losing hope, thinking we're never going to get out. And there was times where I thought I was never going to get out of the shoe. I was going to die back there. I was prepared to die back there. But there's a friend of mine, Todd Ashker. He's the name that's on the lawsuit that we filed, a class action lawsuit to get us out of the shoe because the shoe was actually driving men crazy. It was violation of the 8th Amendment, cruel and unusual punishment, to subject a human being to them kind of conditions. I remember there was a guy that I knew. I was on the mainline with him, and he was cool. And then I talked to him once in the shoe, and he told me, hey, Turtle, I'm starting to hear voices. So that right there, it's sad when you have people like that there's really nothing you could do for them because they want you to debrief, to get out. And I'll tell me, you got to stay strong. You got to keep your mind strong. You got to read and you got to study. You got to work out because the shoe was, it was driving people crazy. There was inmates that were committing suicide. I remember they had put an African in the pod with me. A pod is a section where there's 8 cells, 4 cells on the bottom, 4 on the top. The African was going crazy. He was in the cell naked, full of fecal matter, shitting on himself, pissing on himself, throwing it at people when they would pass by his cell. He would go shower. He would shit in the shower on the yard. They would extract him, took him out, and them are the symptoms of what the shoe will cause. So we came together. We all the different races, all the different men that were back there, different ethnic groups. Well, let me explain. Pelican Bay had inmates that were, the CDC had validated as prison gang members, so they had us on indeterminate status, meaning you're not going to the main line, you're staying in the hole indeterminately. So all the different groups came together, said we need to do something to get out of here because it's guys are going crazy and it's messing us up. So what we did was we started with the civil lawsuit, and we filed a lawsuit explaining that the conditions were cruel and unusual. And in addition to the lawsuit, we got all the inmates in different prisons. We got a different inmates, and we asked them to support us in a hunger strike. In 2011, we did a hunger strike, and there was people in different prisons, different states, United States, that joined. After the first hunger strike, they released inmates that they had as associates, not validated prison gang members. They released associates, but they were leaving people that were validated as members still there, saying they weren't going to let us out. So 2013, we did another hunger strike. That hunger strike was huge. All the way to Palestine, people were joining the hunger strike in Europe. Yes, to Europe, different states. And
how long did this strike last?
well, some of the guys had said they were going to go until they died because we were already going crazy. The only way the CDC or the judge was going to rule to release us if they really saw how serious it was. So the hunger strike was used to bring media attention and public awareness of what we were going through. And fortunately, it worked. The judge talked to the attorneys and the CDC, and they settled the case where they started releasing people from the SHU. I stood 27 years in the SHU from 1988 to 2015. 2015, I was released right here to Centinela Prison. Yes, right here where I'm at right now. I've been here. When I already got here, it took a little while for me to adjust.
Yeah, what was that like being for the first time in a yard or with people?
I wasn't used to it. I was used to being in my cell by myself, in a little dog walk by myself. I was used to not being around people. It took a little while for me to adjust of being around people. It took time, actually. It took time. I started attending self-help classes, like Life Without a Crutch. It deals with the addictions, CGA, anger management. When I first went to them classes, it was hard for me to speak. I would start sweating being in the group. But as I continued to go, I started getting more used to it, more used to being around people. As you know, the SHU kept me very athletic, in good shape. So when I got out here, right away I started playing baseball, volleyball, football, soccer, handball.
It's amazing. So sports brought you kind of back to yourself, that happiness that you
Yeah.
that you didn't have at the SHU.
Yeah, it brought that happiness. It brought that the adrenaline rush.
Yeah, just the freedom, the joy, just being with a ball and playing with people, and
Yes.
there's nothing better than that.
Yes. And when I got out, at first, the yard was very segregated. Prisons, it's racial segregated, so the different ethnic groups would play by themselves, like the blacks would play football by themselves, the Mexicans play soccer. I'm very competitive. I like to compete, and if I'm winning, I like to go whoever's better to play them. And so I started, telling the blacks that they want.
So you're trying to play,
you want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we started playing volleyball, and we started first with volleyball. That was the first one. I got a hell of a serve, And
Really? A jump
18.
serve or just
Yeah,
like?
and I'd be 18 on. I got a hell of a
So
serve.
you went up to them and you're like, let's play.
Yeah, we started.
And it was not, that wasn't our normal thing to do.
No, no, but no, we all, well, we're all in prison together. We're all in cells together. We live together, so we have to communicate and get along. So and then through the self-help groups, I'm in the self-help groups with them. We get to know each other. Through the sports, it brought us closer. It brought us a lot closer where, start challenging them with football and
With everything.
with everything. Yeah. So first it was, where it would be the blacks against the Mexicans, but we played them football. They says, you guys can't win. The Mexicans are too little and too slow. And I says, well, let's see. I put a league together of the Mexicans, and as I was playing them off, I was picking the best players, and I made like an elite team to play the blacks. We won them, and they were surprised. They got mad, and they said, well, let's play again. And you guys got lucky, so we played again. And I said, look, if we win you again, we're gonna start mixing to end the.
Make it fair.
Yeah, we're gonna start mixing it so that way it's everyone playing together.
Yes, yes.
So we won them the second one, and then we started mixing. So now we play interracial sports, and
Incredible.
yeah, it's
I mean, we get to play with you guys, and it's all interracial. And there's no, it's so
No
harmonious.
tension.
It's
Yeah.
so harmonious when it
Yes.
comes to sports.
yes.
Like, how did that idea come to you, like to be a pioneer of the integration of races? Because you are also very, like, you're Mexican American. It's like you're proud of that.
Yeah.
What switched within you to be like, you know what, this is more important. This is better.
I realized that we all, through the self-help classes and hearing other inmate stories, other races tell their story, hearing some of the Africans tell their story, I realized, it's all the same. It's the same story. It's just their ghetto or barrio.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. It's the same. It's
Same struggles, same.
It's the same. Yes, it's the same. And we're all stuck right here behind, the lifestyle we got caught up into. And I just started hearing them and attending the classes and getting to know them better. And we started becoming friends and playing sports and continue. I go to college with them. I attend self-help programs. I'm in college. I'm going to be graduating. I might get into the bachelor's to get my bachelor's program. I go to board in 6 months. Hopefully they parole me. But this is something that's good. The CDC likes it, and it's. I never imagined this would happen.
No,
from
I
the
mean,
shoe.
yeah,
Yes.
you're a living example of someone who didn't have hope, didn't see a way out, thinking that they're
didn't
gonna
see
be
a
here
way
for life, and not just getting through those tough times of the shoe, but then really reforming and knowing, using the programs that they have.
Yes.
'Cause a lot of people here maybe they don't know that they have that opportunity, but you give them a conversation, an open conversation, to be able to learn and be educated, right?
In addition, something that makes me feel good is I do fundraisers here. Yeah, I do fundraisers. I don't know. I guess from learning about personal finance, it helped me to be able to generate money. So.
And what do you guys fundraise?
Oh man, you can trip out on some of this. Okay, so we just took a picture with the warden, associate warden, because we donated to some of the football teams right here in Brawley and Calexico. I did a fundraiser for Mothers with the Message. It's a group of women who've lost their children to gang violence. There's one woman that she lost her daughter, and there's one that lost his son, and the person that did it got killed in prison, and the two mothers joined up. They got a program called Mothers with the Message. They run victim impact classes, but I came up with the ideal to ask the inmates to submit drawings so we could sell them and give the money to Mothers with the Message. So that's one of the ones. Another one I did is I organized a cancer walk right here on this yard. And I asked the guys to donate money for kids with cancer. And I told the guys, you know, you're helping the community and you're also showing the board that you're helping the community. So I'm going to give you a certificate saying that you donated to an organization that helps kids with cancer. So I did the cancer walk for the kids with cancer, the one with Mothers with the Message. We do food sales here. Them food sales, they raise like 80,000, 90,000, 50,000, 40,000. Yeah, the food sales.
Wow.
And they, as I said, we just took pictures the other day. It was because the food sales, they wanted the people on the streets that get the money know who was actually putting the money together, the inmates. So they had them come, and we took pictures with us and the coaches and the recipients of the funds that are in the public.
That's incredible. Your life has completely done a 180 in terms of, I mean, you're the same person, but the boy that you were when you came into the man that you are now, you had validation at the beginning with, you know, your gang and the people around you, they respect you. And now you have validation and respect from the people that are here, but they're completely different spectrums, right?
Yes.
What does it feel like to be on this side of the spectrum compared to this, even though this was also equally, you know, as respectful?
Oh, it feels great being on this side.
What is that feeling for people that are here and think that this is the best thing? Like, what is this
No,
feeling to you?
that's let me explain this. I had asked the warden if I could start a program here to bring kids, youngsters that are going to juvenile hall or they're messing up, that where I was at that age, if I could bring them here and get mentors like myself and talk to them and start a program like that here. And because when I get out, I don't want to, I'm going to do it. I'm going to start a program to help kids. That's one of the things that I really want to do. And with my story and other inmates that have been through what I've been through or have been in prison for decades and walked this walk where there was no hope and are now, you know, doing good things and have hope and, you know, are doing good. I want to get them men and be part of my program to help these kids to mentor them. And some of them need mentors. Some of them need
What would you
sports.
say to that kid that's not here yet, but is living that lifestyle and thinks that's the best? You know, you have this platform to say a message to them, someone who's been through all this. What would you say to them now before they even get as far as this?
I would say there was a fork in the road when I was younger. And I could have took it. I could have took that turn, but I didn't. I was hard-headed. And I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't. I didn't listen to my parents or to the people that cared, and I went the wrong way. So my words to them would be not to take the turn that I took. Don't be swayed by your peers that you think love you and are there for you, because they're not going to be there for you. When I was in the shoe, nobody was there. I had to survive myself.
And all the things you did didn't matter.
No.
All the cool things.
No, all the things went out the window. I realized that in prison. All the things I did out there, out the window, didn't matter. Here, it was a whole different world. So that's what I would tell them, and not to give up hope, and to set goals and do things, sports, learn about personal finance, learn about business, learn about, you know, well, another thing that I think is important that is not taught in schools is I did a parenting class here, and that, you know, they ask you about how you were brought up and, you know, about, you know, Mexican, so there's a lot of machismo in Mexico, and you see the different, you know, the way the American style lifestyle is compared to that, and you start seeing, well, hey, you know, maybe the machismo and all that is not
Right way.
and that's not the correct way, and not the way to be what's the word, like trying to dominate a woman or be superior. It's not about that. It's about equal love together. Yeah.
Are you a father?
I'm a father. Yeah, my son's he has I'm actually a grandfather and a great grandfather.
You're an abuelito and a bisabuelito. You're the best looking grandfather, great grandfather I've seen in my life. The most fit grandfather I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's making me old.
That's amazing. So you have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, he was in prison actually. Yeah, he was in prison, and he. I remember when he was in prison, and I got in contact with him. I was on him to stay out, and he asked, "Hey, Dad, can you send me some money? I'm getting out." And I said, "Okay." So I gave him some money, and next you know, I hear he's busted, and I said, "Yeah, I was mad. I go, what the?" And he got the money and went and got drugs and tried to sell him, got busted. And I cut him loose for like about 3 years. My brother says, "Hey, Mar, he just, don't be so mean on him. He just got caught up hanging around the wrong crowd." So I got in contact with him again, and I told him, "Hey, don't ever do that. You got, you know, the kids, you got the family. You don't want to be in here where I'm in here with the life sentence as my salary. Keep your ass out there." So he got right. He's been out there, yeah, like 14, 15 years. Truck driver, and he does,
Did the right thing.
yeah, he's doing the right thing. He's doing good.
Because he had a father, a mentor, somebody who to teach him to stay on course.
Yeah. I had to get on him, but yeah, I'm happy that he did the right thing. I should have did that.
But you are doing it now.
Yes.
And you're a walking example. And like just meeting you alone is that your spirit your energy is really high and your vibration is really high because you're doing so many good things where you're at that it shows within your spirit, you know? Even your tattoos. Your tattoos have color on it, and not many people do have that, right?
No, not
And look at that. That's beautiful. And the middle one too.
This one.
So nice. Let's see. Wow, that is gorgeous. And you're painting the gym walls, and you're doing.
Paint.
I mean,
paint. Yes.
it's like you're showing your spirit outside.
Yes, I stay highly active, very, very active here. I'm the MAC rep for the yard. I meet with the warden and all the higher ups that run the prison, all the head of the medical. Actually, the head of medical, he asked me to get inmates that will attend classes that he runs for, like cancer, high blood pressure. We just did one on heart attacks. But I meet with all the higher ups of the prison that run the prison, and to make sure everything is running well. And I continue to do the sports. I'll be doing sports till the day I die.
You change the law. You show your resilience. You are somebody that is an example and have inspired the masses, and you still have so much more to go. What is the thing that you most are looking forward to when you get out of here?
Wow, that's a good question. What am I looking forward to the most? Well, a lot of my family has died. A lot of my family have passed away. The freedom of, sometimes I see on TV, the news, where I'll see a lady and with so many problems out there. You see so much problems, and like they don't appreciate the freedom that they have. And when you're stuck with life, in here in prison with life, you want it, and you see people like they don't even appreciate what they have out there. They don't know what they have. So when I get out, just that freedom, I'm gonna appreciate everything that I have, the life, whatever years left that I have in my life out there. I'm gonna enjoy and appreciate that. I already plan to get an RV and go out camping and traveling around and continue to invest and start businesses, and got a house. I got real estate. I want to establish businesses and have different incomes coming. That way I'm not be struggling out there. It says I want to help the kids. That's really important to me. I want to give back. I figure with my story, I could help people, help the kids, keep them from coming and ruining their lives. And in addition to that, it makes me feel good. It's gonna ground me.
It's a win-win situation.
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a win-win situation. That I am gonna do. I really want to do that. I really want to help the kids. I want to, show them to what I went through, that they don't have to go through it. But in addition to that, I want to give them avenues of what they could do. They could go play, they could box, they could play football, baseball, soccer. They could learn, like I said, about personal finance. They could learn parenting, things about parenting. They got church. There's so many other things.
So many it needs to be told, educated. They need to know that's a possibility, right?
For sure.
And then you'll be that pioneer.
Yes.
I mean, you've changed the game so much in here. I can't imagine what you're gonna be doing once you're out. And I'm excited to see the beautiful things that you bring to this world.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time and your inspiration. It was such an honor being able to chop it up with you and learn from you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm proud of you, and I'm proud to know you.